بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا وحبيبنا مولانا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى آله وصحبه بارك وسلم. سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا، اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وزدنا علما يا مقلب القلوب ثبت قلوبنا على دينك. آمين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Alhamdulillah, we begin with the praise of Allah Ta'ala, and we send Allah to send His salutations and salam upon our beloved messenger Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. I pray that all of you are well, inshaAllah Ta'ala, and we'll begin with a short hadith. Al-Hadith al-Khamisu wal-Ishrun, the 25th hadith, inshaAllah. So the hadith is an Abdurrahman ibn Shiblin radiallahu ta'ala anhu أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال اقرأوا القرآن واعملوا به ولا تجفوا عنه ولا تغلوا فيه ولا تأكلوا به ولا تستكثروا به. So this hadith reads اقرأوا القرآن. Who wants to translate for me? اقرأوا القرآن.
The Quran.
اقرأوا القرآن. اقرأوا أمر. All of you read the Quran. وَاعْمَلُوا بِهِ. So اقرأوا is an أمر. وَاعْمَلُوا بِهِ.
Practice it.
And practice it and act upon it and live it. اقرأوا القرآن وَاعْمَلُوا بِهِ وَلَا تَجْفُوا عَنْهُ. So tajfu anhu may be a new word. The word jafa means to like become harsh or coarse, and jafa anhu means when you like become hard or coarse towards something. In other words, you become averse towards something, you turn away from something, you shun something, you neglect it. So la tajfu anhu, do not avoid the Quran, do not shun the Quran, do not become hard towards it and coarse towards it. وَلَا تَغْلُوا فِيهِ. وَلَا تَغْلُوا فِيهِ. And so jafa means when you become harsh and you shun something. And taghlu actually means when you become excessive in something. So it's a strange thing to say, but the Prophet ﷺ is saying, and do not be excessive within the Quran. Don't be excessive within the Quran. And I think it comes back to the message of balance. Is that there's a time in your life for different things. There's a time for Quran, there's a time for Salah, there's a time for your family, there's a time for rest, there's a time for work as well. So la taghlu fihi, do not be, actually means do not be excessive on it. In a sense, it becomes detrimental to you. It becomes detrimental to your balance. And there are a number of ahadith where the Prophet ﷺ actually tells Sahaba to be more balanced. But on the one hadith, the Prophet ﷺ says that your body has a right upon you, your wife has a right upon you, your family has a right upon you. So la taghlu fihi means do not become excessive in it. So those two go together. La tajfu anhu, do not neglect it and shun it. Wa la taghlu fihi, and do not be excessive within it. Wa la ta'kulu bihi. What's the meaning of that?
Do not eat with it.
Do not eat with it. Okay, so we'll come back to eat here. So it doesn't literally mean eat like eat food. Ta'kulu here means eat like attain wealth. We'll come back to now. And وَلَا تَسْتَكْثِرُوا بِهِ. From the word kathir, what's the meaning of that? تَسْتَكْثِرُوا. To seek abundance. Good, Sabir, I mentioned the chat there. To kathir means abundance. On the 10th bab, istakthara, yastakthiru means to seek abundance, to seek much. So do not seek to make kathir. So the last two is wala ta'kulu bihi, and do not consume with it. Wala tastakthiru bihi, and do not seek abundance with it. Meaning what? Is that the Quran is not a means of amassment of the dunya. The Quran is not a means of amassment of wealth. Yes, we do pay Quran teachers and madrasa teachers and hifz teachers. We pay them for their time. I wouldn't even say a reasonable salary, unreasonably low salary, but we should really pay our teachers in our hifz schools and madrasa schools much better. But that's not an issue in terms of Islam. It's more when people use the Quran to be amass this world. And I think a good example is what's happened to the Christian faith. Is that in the Christian faith, for you to be a pastor and to start your own church is quite a lucrative endeavor. It's very much unlike the Muslim faith. But in the Christian faith, is that the church has become largely a business, and the CEO of the business is the pastor or the minister of that church, and they amass. I mean, some of the evangelicals, it's unbelievable. They have private yachts and private planes and asking everybody to give them money. And Islam, alhamdulillah, is never it's never in that light. Islam is never practiced like that because there is no payment to belong to a a masjid. And fundamentally also is that no one should be prevented from an education because of money. No one should be presented for education because of money, and that's why also at many institutes, Mizan included, that if you can't afford the fees, because the fees are just there to sustain the institute, the doors are still always open. And I think that's an important principle to go by, is that the doors are never closed to people. We never close the door to knowledge because of wealth. You always keep the door open, and sometimes we charge fees for practical reasons, but the door has to remain open for knowledge. So the last two is la ta'kulu bihi, do not consume with it, wa la tastakthiru bihi, and do not amass with it. It is not a means of amassment of this dunya. It is a service to Allah Ta'ala. That fundamentally is what it should be. So beautiful hadith, and let's read the hadith inshallah. You can read the parts with me. We read each part 3 times. Even if you're not memorizing, just reading the parts to get a bit fluent for a few moments in your life, and to carry this hadith on your tongue, in your life is a beautiful gift from Allah Ta'ala. So Bismillah, Iqra'ul Qur'ana. Iqra'ul Qur'ana, the waw is a fa'il, and then the Qur'ana is maf'ulun bihi. Iqra'ul Qur'ana, all of you read the Qur'an. Let's say 3 times. Iqra'ul Qur'ana. Iqra'ul Qur'ana. Iqra'ul Qur'ana. Next one. Wa'malu bihi. Wa'malu bihi, and act bihi, via it, by it. Let's say 3 times. Wa'malu bihi. Wa'malu bihi. Wa'malu bihi. Let's say the first 2, 3 times. Iqra'ul Qur'ana wa'malu bihi. Again. Iqra'ul Qur'ana wa'malu bihi. Try and memorize it. Iqra'ul Qur'ana wa'malu bihi. Last time. Iqra'ul Qur'ana wa'malu bihi. Next part. وَلَا تَجْفُوا عَنْهُ. وَلَا تَجْفُوا عَنْهُ. وَلَا تَجْفُوا عَنْهُ. From memory. وَلَا تَجْفُوا عَنْهُ. وَلَا تَجْفُوا عَنْهُ. وَلَا تَجْفُوا عَنْهُ. From the beginning. اقرأوا القرآن واعملوا به ولا تجفوا عنه. 2 more times. اقرأوا القرآن واعملوا به ولا تجفوا عنه. Last time. اقرأوا القرآن واعملوا به ولا تجفوا عنه. Next part. ولا تغلوا فيه. Again. ولا تغلوا فيه. Last time. ولا تغلوا فيه. Let's say the last 2 parts together. ولا تجفوا عنه ولا تغلوا فيه. Again. ولا تجفوا عنه ولا تغلوا فيه. Back to the meaning again. ولا تجفوا عنه. Do not become coarse and harsh towards it, like shunning it, avoiding it. ولا تغلوا فيه, and do not become excessive in it. So the an is away from it, and the fi is in it, and don't become excessive in it. So the last 2 parts. ولا تجفوا عنه ولا تغلوا فيه. ولا تجفوا عنه ولا تغلوا فيه. This is from the beginning. اقرأوا القرآن واعملوا به ولا تجفوا عنه ولا تغلوا فيه. From the beginning. اقرأوا القرآن واعملوا به ولا تجفوا عنه ولا تغلوا فيه. Last time, if you can from memory. اقرأوا القرآن واعملوا به ولا تجفوا عنه ولا تغلوا فيه. The last two parts. ولا تأكلوا به ولا تستكثروا به ولا تأكلوا به ولا تستكثروا به. From memory. ولا تأكلوا به ولا تستكثروا به. Again. ولا تأكلوا به ولا تستكثروا به. From the beginning. اقرأوا القرآن واعملوا به ولا تجفوا عنه ولا تغلوا فيه ولا تأكلوا به ولا تستكثروا به. Second last time. اقرأوا القرآن واعملوا به ولا تجفوا عنه ولا تغلوا فيه ولا تأكلوا به ولا تستكثروا به. Last time, if you can from memory. اقرأوا القرآن واعملوا به ولا تجفوا عنه ولا تغلوا فيه ولا تأكلوا به ولا تستكثروا به. الحمد لله. Beautiful hadith. رواه أحمد وأبو يعلى وطبراني والبيهقي. Beautiful hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam.